Kirill, I guess, stepped into the ring in October 29th.
Oh my god, no. Look at this. No, this looks like Popeye. It's even in his fucking triceps. We're gonna look at this because I don't know that much about looks maxing, but I at least want to look at this in particular because I feel like that it would be something worth talking about, even if it is a month old. But before we take a look at it, be sure to check out Atozi's original video, or at least watch it along with me, as we go ahead and see whether or not this look maxer might lose their arms. Now, I was looking at the thumbnail, and I actually made the point a few streams ago regarding... I don't remember what the context was, but I was mentioning how it is possible for your muscles to straight up explode if they're like way overtuned. I don't remember the context of me talking about it, but I definitely remember talking about it on stream. But let's go ahead and see. And it's a Russian TikToker, huh?
This Russian TikTok bodybuilder injected his arms with petroleum jelly for—
Excuse me? Petroleum jelly? Not even 3 seconds in. And we're already... No. That looks fucking nasty.
For clout. And now...
For clout.
Years later, he's undergoing surgery after surgery to cut out pounds of rotting tissue.
Well then, it didn't take that long for it to go south, just like that.
The worst part is, he might actually lose both arms.
Who would have thought? You're gonna be not a paraplegic, because I know that a quadriplegic is where you lose use of all 4 limbs, but I don't know if there's a term specifically for when you lose your arms.
Would have thought that would have been a bad idea. Permanently skipping arm day and just deciding to fill your arms with Vaseline?
Sounds pretty absurd when you say it out loud. At least when I play DDR, it's leg day all day, so my legs are clearly pretty toned after that. Granted, I don't really keep track of that kind of stuff because it's not my concern. I mean, I should keep track of that kind of thing with how my legs do, but, you know.
I mean, come on, this is a pretty basic life test. Don't inject your arms with foreign objects or foreign substances.
Yeah, you'll never catch me doing that with any part of my body.
Unfortunately, this guy is just yet another influencer who's a prime nominee for this year's Darwin Awards.
Let's
go. I haven't seen this guy in ages, though. I remember him years ago.
I've never heard of this guy. This is my first time learning about him.
Once in a while, I get some cursed Instagram.
Oh my god, that looks nasty. The thighs can explode if you eat too many Krabby Patties like Squidward. No, this guy had too many coral bits, if anything. And it looks like that even his lips are injected with something. Look at this. This looks fucking nasty. You can see freaking... This looks like it's getting scarred. No, what the hell? There ain't no way that anyone... I mean, I'm sure something like this exists on one of those websites. But even then, I'm pretty sure at least a majority of people would not be into anything like this.
Post about him, pray it was fake, and then move on with my life. But unfortunately, this is a very real story. So, meet Kirill Tereshin, who goes by a few different nicknames online, depending on who you ask.
And who you ask, and what are these names?
Some people call him Russian Popeye, because...
That actually... I had that in the back of my mind when I saw that. I was like, wait, this reminds me of something else, and it's Popeye. No, and that ended up reminding me of the cutaway gag where Popeye was talking to Dr. Hartman about his arms. According to Dr. Hartman, the reason why his arms look like that is because they have tumors in them, and the reason why Popeye goes like is because he suffered a stroke at some point, and that Dr. Hartman told him that he only had 2 months to live.
You know, of the comparison, he literally looks like a Popeye character.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, though, they're not real, and those muscles don't have too much function.
Oh, of course not.
Call them bazooka arms.
Bazooka arms.
Or just Ruki Basuki, which is what he calls himself.
Oh my god.
Ruki is currently 29, but this whole thing just kicked off back in 2017 when he got out of the Russian military.
Okay, so this guy's my age.
Apparently, right after finishing his surgery.
Rather than dedicate his life to lifting weights in the gym, in 2017, Kirill from Pyatigorsk in southern Russia is about as vague as can possibly be, decided to get big arms with permanent synthol oil injections. No, you know what this is also reminding me of? Speaking of Krabby Patties and Squidward, this reminds me of the Muscle Bob Buff Pants where he gets anchor arms, the fake arms that prevent him from even moving straws, let alone giant anchors.
Service in the army, Kirill got really
Only, at least those aren't his actual arms, they're just inflatables. This, he's injecting stuff.
interested in bodybuilding and specifically having huge arms. But instead of, you know, putting in the work like any normal person would want to do at the gym, he found out about something called synthol. Now,
Synthol. No. Instead of actually working hard to get the results, yeah, this is why I will never use steroids to play DDR. I would rather use my raw skill.
synthol. I haven't heard about it until I started researching this video.
I haven't heard about it until I started watching this video, so check him out.
But it's a sight enhancement oil that some bodybuilders use to inflate specific muscles.
It's used for your sight? So we're using something that's for our eyesight in order to make ourselves look muscular.
And make them look a little bit bigger than what they actually are.
Good
The key
grief.
thing to understand here, though...
No, normally you would see this kind of thing in... No, we were looking at that. Oh, that's the context. No, we were mentioning earlier about how some people's muscles can explode. It was in the context of that one normal gaze about the girls with the boob and lip jobs. That was the context. Be sure to check that video out. We had so much fun with it.
It doesn't make you stronger at all. All it does is make your muscles swell up because you're
It makes you look like shit. That's what it does.
injecting something beneath the muscle, so it makes it stick up a little bit. It's like the guitar trick where like you rest your bicep on your guitar for a photo, so it makes your bicep a little bigger. I'm wearing a baggy shirt.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Though, like, you know, the push. I gotta illustrate this. It's the bicep trick, right? See, I have non-existing biceps.
No, you should see my biceps. I have non-existing biceps either. My arms have always been rather small, let's say.
But if you rest it on a guitar...
No, if you stretch it out, if you stretch out the PNG using MS Paint, you can make anything look, like, buffed out and jacked out. And you can make other things look other ways, but that is irrelevant.
Wait, there's no difference. I don't have any biceps erased. In theory, you could flatten it. And if you did have a bicep, it would push forward a little bit because it would be flattened.
Yeah. Now, the question is, would it make your triceps look nice?
See, I don't have too much of a bicep, so we're cooked.
They're bigger than mine.
Maybe I need to hop on this oil. Again, psych, don't ever do that.
No, never.
Please don't ever do that.
Never.
It's like literally an awful idea. It's usually made up of about 85% oil.
Okay, synthol is 85% medium chain triglyceride oil, 7.5% lidocaine, which is a pain suppressant, and 7.5% alcohol. You could probably get drunk off of it. You're true noodles. Okay. Yeah, lidocaine's a painkiller. Alcohol sterilizes the mixture and reduces risk of bacterial infections. And the triglycerides have some health benefits, but are found in coconut and palm oil. And so this guy's just putting it in his arms. I wonder if he gets low-key drunk off of it.
7.5% lidocaine, which numbs the pain, and then 7.5% alcohol to help prevent infections. But unfortunately, Kirill here, he didn't even bother getting the actual product.
Wait, so he got some sort of off-brand or bootleg?
He just whipped up his own homemade version.
Oh, hell no. That just reminded me of the episode of Family Guy where Peter tried to make his own beer or something, and he ended up just brutally destroying one of his kidneys to the point to where they almost had to have Brian give him one of his kidneys, but Dr. Hartman ended up giving one instead. He claims that he made his homemade formula with unidentified amounts of olive oil, lidocaine, and benzyl alcohol.
Version, mixing olive oil with lidocaine and benzyl alcohol in whatever ratios he felt like, I guess.
Oh my lord. No, what are the odds that he just added 2 to everything and just assumed that it was double?
And honestly, that just sounds like an awful idea.
That sounds absurd.
Would you ever use the original thing, especially to that kind of degree as what he did on his 2 arms? That alone. Okay, why you would do that, that's crazy. But
No.
why you would make your homemade cocktail like that and then inject yourself with that much? Come on, that should have been extraordinarily obvious. It was
I'm pretty sure in the Breaking Bad they have better sense than this.
only gonna end badly. So I guess he just started injecting this mixture directly into his arms. At first, he used about 250 milliliters, thinking that would be enough. But when his arms only grew by 1 or 2 inches, he wasn't satisfied with the results. So
I'm sure he wasn't.
his solution was to
Add more.
keep injecting more and more.
Yep.
Awesome. In an interview from back then,
Sugoi.
And Kirill explained the whole process, saying that in order to reach such size, you need to inject liters into your arm.
Liters? No, you know how much a liter is? No, they sell soda bottles by the liter. If you like, or even like 2 liters, I don't remember how many liters a soda bottle is. Like you would get at a, like if you ordered pizza, they sometimes sell you those soda bottles. You're putting that much into your arms, essentially. You're doing it and getting a fever up to 40 degrees. Laying in bed, feeling like you were dying, but then it turned out fine. Okay, so he kept on doing this, knowing that he was getting sick. 40 degrees. That's like... That's over 100... I'm assuming that's... I can tell that he's using Celsius in that case. That's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which... Like, in terms of Fahrenheit, your body is like 98 point something.
I was doing it and getting a fever of up to 40 degrees. I was lying in bed, feeling like I was dying. And then it all turned out fine. Okay.
Yeah, it all turned out fine after you got 40 to 60 milliliters. Yeah.
This is 40 degrees Celsius, by the way. Because
yes, the Celsius.
If it was Fahrenheit, that would not be a fever.
Yeah, that would be death.
You were talking 104 fever, dude. And you didn't...
104. I don't even know what my highest fever ever was. I just know that when I get it, I get chills. And I'm shaking, and I don't want to get up out of bed, and I have trouble sleeping, and it's not very fun.
Take that as a sign to stop? Buddy. Okay. I mean, I only had 104 degree Fahrenheit after injecting.
It's only that much.
My arms with some,
it's
like,
not that hot.
Homemade cocktail fluid I made. Like, oh yeah, I'm fine, obviously. But within about 10 days of starting the procedure...
Okay, so this is where it starts to get...
Kirill managed to...
He plans to stop, only to stop using the substance on his arms once... His currently 23-inch biceps reach the target size of 27.
Blow his biceps from a normal size to around 23 inches in diameter.
Okay.
Bro, what are you doing? Like, come on. So just to put that in perspective,
I don't know what the diameter of my arms is, and personally, I don't really care.
Make a quick Google search. Most professional bodybuilders who actually train for
20 to 24 inches, huh?
Years have biceps in the 20 to 24 inch range.
Okay, and that was what he was aiming for?
This dude got to that in like 2 weeks with a syringe and some...
In 2 weeks, huh?
Goop. I
don't know how long it takes for bodybuilders to get to that point, but...
About you guys, but I am goop adverse, so I don't know why anyone would want to inject goop into their arms like this, but hey, whatever floats his boat, I guess. Unfortunately for him, though, he wasn't done. Since
it said 27 after that.
He said he wouldn't stop injecting.
Yes, until 27 inches. If bodybuilders can barely reach that, what makes them think that he could?
He hit 27 inches because that was his goal. And as his arms got more and more cartoonishly large, people started noticing him. So
yeah. Okay, yeah. When you make a complete fool of yourself, of course people are going to notice.
Posting content showing off his massive biceps on Instagram and other platforms.
And that's why I haven't been noticed yet, even though it could happen.
Attention started rolling in, and the whole thing was bizarre enough for Russian media to pick up on it.
Of course, Russian media
posts, and then you start getting like the posts that I guess I saw a couple of years ago, like.
And I wonder how Putin would feel about this.
This Russian man has these crazy large fake biceps. You're like, that's crazy. Swipe. I never went and did any more research on him. It was just kind of like, damn, that's crazy. And
yeah.
move on in your life, and that's what.
But I guess nobody ever really knew the true scope of the debauchery that was taking place.
People's reaction to this kind of stuff is, which is why this is not the attention you want in life, especially when it comes to this much risk. And I guess Kirill was pretty open about what his goals were from the beginning. He straight up said in an interview that he wanted to hit over 1 million followers on Instagram.
Well, yeah, I'd be lucky just to get 100.
And then stop working entirely. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work.
Just stop. Yeah, I'm still working, and slowly but surely we'll get there.
That unfortunately, you can't just hit 1 million followers on Instagram. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna retire, because you would be shocked at how little money someone with 1 million followers on Instagram can actually make.
I bet.
It's all about your product, and he doesn't have a product. Unless he's gonna start selling his homemade goop.
Oh, no, you better not.
Imagine, Kirill's little cocktail in his garage. Here in my garage, I have this homemade goop. You too can inject it into your biceps. Like, that is just, that's horrible. No. Also,
I don't know, that sounds pretty great.
Finances aside, it just sounds incredibly boring to me to be 29 years old and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna retire. Like, what are you gonna do with the rest of your life?
Exactly.
I don't know. But unfortunately, while Kirill was enjoying the attention and growing his following,
I mean, if you were to ask me, I'd play DDR every other night.
Professionals in Russia were growing really concerned.
But I'd have to think about what I'd eat.
This. Because a professor by the name of Evgeny Lilin, they were pretty straight up and just said,
not immediately, but he very likely faces amputation in the future.
Hey, amputation might not happen immediately, but
it's bound to happen because no. Please. Even Sapphire from Steven Universe can see it coming.
Very likely if he keeps this up, because this isn't good. He explained that abscesses would eventually develop, followed by inflammation, and that Kirill would be in serious risk of having a stroke. However,
Oh,
even
Lord.
if Kirill completely stopped injecting himself right then and then, all the stuff that he'd already put into his arms, it wouldn't just like magically disappear.
Right.
That'll all stay in his muscle tissue for 5 to 7 years, apparently.
The bad thing is that already injected synthol or its equivalent will remain in his muscles for the next 5 to 7 years, even if he stops adding more now. Damn.
That's what I found. I don't really see how all of that just goes.
And how exactly is your body able to break that down in any way? The fact that it would stay there for that long.
Away. I feel like that's kind of there forever, but hey, I'm no medical professional. So I guess the damage was already done and would continue causing problems for years, regardless of what he did next. And
He just did it for
another doctor described the inside of Kirill's arms as having pathologically changed tissues.
Good lord, it looks like jelly with insertions. Oh no. What actually oh my god. Are we gonna get if we get a screenshot of what it looks like, it might be a bit too graphic.
That looked like jelly with insertions, and said they were essentially abscesses made up of either oil or blood from vessels that have been damaged by all the injections.
Good
but
lord.
despite that, he kept going. He's
He's just one of those guys that just doesn't learn.
a mad lad. Like, why? Why would you keep going? I guess because he hadn't reached his goal yet of 27-inch biceps. But of course, it gets worse because for some
It always gets worse before it gets better. Even when you're doing it on purpose, it'll always get worse.
reason, he decided he was going to get into fighting. I guess.
Oh no. No, that is not going to work out very well for him at all. That is not. No.
Yes, if you're
No. I'd be able to beat the shit out of him, no contest. I'll just pop his arms. And then all of the oil will be splattered everywhere.
Like cartoon logic. Wow.
Here on this channel, we don't promote the incitement of violence. I just said that as a joke. Please don't.
He has big arms. I guess he'll be good at fighting, except there's no muscles there. Because, as I mentioned earlier, Synthanol doesn't actually do anything for your strength. It just makes your muscles
It's purely aesthetic and cosmetic. It does nothing.
big while providing zero functional benefit. If anything, it weighs you down and makes you a bigger target.
I bet it does.
To mention, having the liability of a bunch of toxic fluid in your arms, that can't be good. So if someone's punching your arms and
Oh my god, imagine that. Oh my, no. I was making a joke when I said that if it pops. No, if someone punched directly into that bubble of fluids, imagine what kind of damage that would actually do.
you have toxic fluid, that just sounds like even worse cocktail.
If it somehow got into your bloodstream, oh my god, no. There'd probably be no coming back from that if there's no hospital in your immediate vicinity.
So when Kirill, I guess, stepped into the ring in October 29th.
Oh my god, no. Look at this. No, this looks like Popeye. It's even in his fucking triceps. Oh my god, there's no way. There's no goddamn way he actually went through with this.
To fight a blogger by the name of Oleg Mongol, things went poorly pretty much immediately.
I bet. I was going to say, no, that other guy looked right. Yeah, this other guy, well, I'm in the way, but other guy is a little shorter than him, but I can tell that he's most certainly going to be able to beat that other guy, this guy's ass.
Stepped into the ring in October 2019 to fight a blogger by the name of
No, I could. Like I said, I could probably beat his ass.
Mongol. Things went poorly pretty much immediately. At the time, Oleg was 43 years old, literally twice Kirill's
his age.
age, and he absolutely destroyed him.
We take those there, put them in their place.
And the fight lasted about 3 minutes total before.
Yeah, the Russian bodybuilder known as Popeye was destroyed in an MMA fight in 3 minutes by an opponent 20 years his senior. I mean, it's part of the philosophy of Fafo.
Kirill tapped out after getting held down and choked. And that was basically the end of his MMA fighting career.
Yeah, he freaking even... I don't want to give too many compliments to iDubbbz, but I don't know.
But he wasn't completely done with fighting, because then...
So he just didn't stop. The loss comes after Tereshin was beaten by a Russian slapping champion, Vasily the Dumpling Komotsky, earlier in the year. Komotsky flattened Tereshin with his first punch, proving that fighting may not be his calling.
He signed up to a face-slapping competition against...
I didn't even know... Wait. Face slapping? That's a thing? That sounds like something that stereotypical. That sounds like something that, and if a if an American cartoon were to do something like that, it would probably be between stereotypical nerds and geeks, like on the level of Napoleon Dynamite.
It's a guy by the name of Vasily Kadmovsky. And this guy was apparently Russia's champion at slapping people in the face.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Is it a specifically Russian thing, or are there other places that do that?
So obviously, that went terribly.
Kiro came out of the contest half awake, barely able to stand. No. What a...
out barely conscious and was barely able to stand. But by late 2019, the situation was so bad that Kirill couldn't really ignore it anymore. That's when the Russian model and activist named Alana Maveva got involved.
Okay, so we have someone who knows what they're doing.
Alana worked with people who had botched plastic surgery and cosmetic procedures.
Okay, I figured.
And when she saw what Kirill had done to himself, she decided to help him out.
Okay. Oh, she even raised money for this guy?
She started raising money to get him proper medical treatment, and eventually got him set up with a surgeon at a university hospital in Moscow.
And what actually happened? Did he get the surgery, or did he reject the surgery on the grounds that it's not very... I need to keep on doing the looks mixing?
When the doctor eventually opened up Kirill's arm and looked inside...
Oh, okay, so we looked in. Oh no, are we ready? Let me guess, there was cosmic horror within.
What he found was somehow even worse than what he could have expected.
Yes.
First off, as we mentioned earlier, he hadn't been using actual synthol like he was claiming.
Yes.
The doctor
he got found out.
Discovered that what Kirill had...
Yes, the Durgin... Okay, Dmitry of Sechenov Moscow State Medical, who performed the operation, said he had 25% more of the Vaseline-like implant to extract, which would take at least 3 more surgeries.
Had actually been injecting was just straight petroleum jelly. So he was injecting essentially Vaseline that you buy at the drugstore that's meant to be on your skin, not under your muscles.
Okay, so he was doing more than just that olive oil concoction.
And again, unfortunately for him, he injected about 3 liters.
3 liters. No, I actually need to look up how many... Sorry about that. Yeah, that's like 3 of these big... That's like 3 big soda bottles. 3 big soda bottle, or either 3 or 1.5 big soda bottles worth of stuff just in his arms.
The stuff into each arm over time. And to make things even worse, the doctor explained the petroleum jelly had completely saturated Kirill's muscles.
It saturated the muscles and blocked blood flow. So how was he even able to move them? This is the question. I mean, that's what muscles are for. It's for movement, and as a result, the tissue dies and gets replaced with a scar, which is as tough as a tree. Really? Is that actually what happens? Like, I know that like bones and muscles are both very much interconnected with each other. So much so, there's a congenital disease that you can get where if your muscles get bruised, they can turn into bone, and it basically turns you into a living statue. I don't remember the name of it. It has a name, but I remember watching a video about it, about like a boy who had it, and so the mother had to make sure that her son was in as safe of an environment as possible, lest his muscles all turn into bone. And the fact that it said that the scar tissue was as tough as a tree pretty much reminded me of that.
Muscle tissue and block normal blood flow. As a result, the tissue just died and got replaced by scar tissue. And the scar tissue was so dense and hard that it almost felt like wood. Apparently, you could knock on it and hear a solid sound.
That's... Once again, it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly what happened.
Nice.
If it just turned into bone.
Can't believe this guy did
pseudo bone even.
Apparently, though, during the first surgery, which took about 2 hours, the doctor managed to remove about 3 pounds of this damaged tissue and petroleum jelly mixture from one of Kirill's arms, and that was about 25% of the total damaged material.
Okay, so we needed. So they mentioned like 2 more or 3 more surgeries
needed to come out. He said that Kirill would need multiple additional operations to remove the rest, and that each surgery was complicated.
Okay, the side effects of synthol are manifold. They can also cause damage of nerves, oil embolic of the pulmonary, occlusion of the pulmonary artery, myocardial infarction, cerebral stroke, and infectious complications. I'd imagine.
because of all the important nerves and arteries that were tangled up in the mass of the scar tissue and the Vaseline. And around that same time, he also revealed that his first plan was way more ambitious. He
There's no way.
originally wanted to inject.
He wanted to inject it into. No. No. You don't want to. Fuck no.
This stuff
He wanted to put it in other parts. Oh, let me guess. He wanted to do it the way that like those guys that we looked at the other day, who put all sorts of stuff in the one lady that put a whole bunch of stuff in her lips, and then the other that put a whole bunch in her boobs. Let me guess. He was trying to do that as well.
other parts of his body as well, but stopped when his arms had, some serious problems.
Yeah, no shit.
And honestly, that
Oh my god.
might have actually been the first reasonable decision I've seen him make.
Good. Well, yeah,
came
but let me guess. He continued to make more bad decisions. Tedeshin admitted that his motivation to pump his arms full of oil was to attract beautiful women, saying it was impossible for an ordinary guy to date such girls. You'd be surprised, let's be real. So he spent $15,000 on having his face done, really.
Spent something like $15,000 on various cosmetic procedures, including facial fillers. And this is apparently all because he thought it was impossible for a regular guy to date attractive women without these modifications. Dude,
No, you'd be surprised. I'm just saying.
you would be so much better off without any of these modifications. This does not make sense. This is literally all in your head. This is body dysmorphia.
Pretty much, no. He pretty much said it perfectly.
I feel bad for him. His body dysmorphia will explain why he's doing all the stuff that he's doing.
Now, does he view himself as just very, very scrawny, even though he might not be that skinny?
Because I definitely...
Oh my god. Wait, is this his post-op? No, this... Oh my god. No.
don't see the appeal in spending
No, I can tell that his lips are full of filler, and I don't like it.
thousands of dollars to look like handsome squirrel.
That's perfect.
But to each their own. But real quick though, it's now Christmas at Mad City, as we just dropped our Christmas collection over there, which includes our large...
Well, it's January as of the making of this reaction, so...
Fast forward to June 2025, and
Okay, so literally last year.
Kirill announces that he was under the knife yet again. This
I'd
time,
imagine.
his plan was to remove his biceps entirely.
What? You can't remove them altogether? If that... Are they really are they that damaged beyond repair? Because if that happens, then it's very, very unlikely that he'll have any use of his arms.
He posted pictures on Instagram
Oh my lord.
showing himself with bandages around his left arm.
Yeah.
And over the next few days, he shared more photos and videos showing the results. And it's safe to say
Oh my god. Apologies for moving out the way. No, I'm guessing this is the before.
the before and after pictures of him made it pretty clear of just how much damage he accumulated
Oh my god, no, you can tell. No, I saw what looked like scars.
over the years. Because his
No, here. I think we saw this earlier. No, you can look right here. This looks like it looks like a scar. It looks like a scar, and you can just... No, you can't. No, I can't deal with that. No.
arms are very visibly deformed.
Yes, it's
And the
nasty.
video showed his range of motion has been extremely limited.
I could tell.
But then in November of 2025, things
Okay, so this is literally just a few months ago.
apparently got worse. Again.
Again.
Reports started coming out of Russia claiming that Kirill was now facing the possibility of losing both arms due to a severe infection.
Yeah.
According to these reports, one of his biceps had actually bursted.
I knew it. I knew it. I told you. Something like this could happen. In that video, I mentioned that if you put, I guess, like, well, he was, like, removing them. He was trying to remove them before, but you put too much filler in your lips or whatever, even if you had to, like, get more skin from, like, other parts of the body, they can burst. They can burst.
Open.
A freakish-looking gym goer shared stomach-churning footage of how his bicep had burst, leaving a large hole with rotting tissue underneath. That is... good fucking lord.
Leaving a hole with rotting tissue visible inside. And
And he just and this was just simmering for who knows how long.
the claims were that he needed
Yeah, he needed multiple skin grafts, but he can't do it until this infection clears.
multiple skin graft surgeries to save his arms, but the infections had to clear up before the doctors could even perform those operations. And they suggested that time was running out.
They require a vascular surgeon, a plastic surgeon, and a reconstructive surgeon.
and that the procedures would require a whole team of specialists, vascular, plastic, and reconstructive surgeons all working together. So apparently, after years of injecting Vaseline, that caused his tissue to develop fibrosis, and then necrosis his body, as you would expect.
Oh my lord.
Rejected the foreign material. And I guess even though he had surgery back in 2019, the infection was supposedly so severe now that the wounds wouldn't heal on their own.
Good lord.
However, Kirill himself came out and denied these reports.
Oh, really? So he hasn't learned his lesson, huh? So after all of this, he was at risk of losing his arms. And he wants to brush it off like it's no big deal, huh?
He posted a video on YouTube saying this.
Hello again, everyone. I now want to make an appeal again and protect people from unreliable news regarding me. Now, the second wave has started again, and they started news about me that my tests are crappy, but not suitable for surgery, and they will amputate his arms. Guys, don't trust the news in publics, in general to anyone where this is posted. They do this to attract attention to their channels. Says the guy that did this to attract attention to his fucking Instagram. Everything is fine with me. The tests are really, well, not exactly terrible, but they are good enough for... Yeah, we're not even going to let him finish.
To auto-translate that, but essentially it was like, everything is fine with me, the test went really well, my arms are well enough for skin graft.
Yeah, and he said that all of these other channels are just doing it for attention. Yeah, and he's the one that's also doing it for attention, so it looks like the shoe's on the other foot.
It will happen this week. So whether the amputation risk is as immediate as some media outlets are claiming, or if things are more stable than that, I mean, it's hard to say. Who knows? He could be BSing, or
hey there, Dan.
Could be BSing. But at the time of the recording of this video, he's still active, and his latest...
He's... Oh my god, no. Let's give it till the end of the year. If his arms don't stop working by then, we'll see.
Before and after of the...
Oh my lord. Oh, so he got... Oh my god, this is nasty.
Procedures of his face.
And he removed all of this? Good.
And honestly, it's almost unbelievable how much his condition has improved. Which goes to show you, he would have been infinitely better off without doing any of this.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Clearly, he understands that now, so there's no real reason rubbing this in. But whether this story ends with Kirill making a full recovery or dealing with more serious complications, that's still up in the air.
Well, he's making it seem like it's no big deal, even though he's at risk of losing his arms.
At the very least, what happened to him should be an extremely clear example to never do any of this to your body.
Never. I will never inject anything like that.
There's literally no upside of doing what he did, even if he did it properly. Like, if you desperately want big arms, go pick up some dumbbells almost every day for a couple of years.
Pretty much.
And then you'll have big arms, even if it takes longer and doesn't get you viral overnight. But trust me, you don't want to go viral for the reason he did. But
yeah, pretty much. Crypto millionaire who sued me is now facing 15 years in prison because we had to walk 15 miles through the snow just to get to school. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and this video was streamed live on both YouTube and Kick. Be sure to check out the VODs for unedited footage as well. Take care.